Hello, welcome to Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the documentary While We Watched, directed by Vinay Shukla. This is a documentary about a news anchor in India, Ravish Kumar of NDTV. It's filmed during the run-up to the 2019 Indian elections. It sits nicely alongside a number of documentaries about resistance and activism that I've reviewed this year, Navalny and My Imaginary Country. Also, How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Although this isn't a documentary, it feels like it fits in with this group. I didn't really know about the developments shown in this documentary, so at the most basic level, like Navalny, it serves a really important role in generating awareness of very serious issues. The documentary shows how the TV news media in India is totally dominated by pro-government, nationalist, populist, very shouty news stations. This is the development that we've obviously seen elsewhere, Fox News in the US, GB News in the UK. NDTV is presented as the one news channel that tries to focus on real problems being faced by the population, massive increases in unemployment, rubbish in the streets, etc. And they're constantly branded as being unpatriotic and anti-nationals. Intimidation, threatening phone calls, signal blocking and constant abuse follows. The film does capture the pressure that this puts on the staff of NDTV, and particularly on the news anchor, Ravish Kumar. There's always a tension and peril in the air, so the film is quite gripping. It wasn't quite as theatricalised as Navalny, but it's certainly made in an entertaining way, the use of music to emphasise the various different moods, etc. I think that the film perhaps focuses too much on Ravish Kumar as a victim. I don't mean to minimise in any way what he went through, but I do feel that the documentary glosses over the actual issues that aren't being fully covered by the mainstream news stations. I don't think this documentary would change anyone's mind in India. The people who sympathise with Kumar don't need any more convincing. I think that the documentary could have gone into more depth on how the issues are covered in the various news stations and really shown how key stories are neglected. Just showing us a film that allows us to feel sorry for Kumar perhaps isn't enough. I also think it could have been interesting to try and interview some of the journalists from the other TV stations. We were just shown some of the worst examples of their programmes, which did look terrible. But it would be interesting to hear what they would say when confronted with the threat to democracy that shutting down debate imposes. I think that this would have made the documentary feel more balanced. As it is, it feels a little bit too much about him. And this isn't helped by the fact that Kumar isn't always that likeable. He's pretty grumpy, although you can't really blame him. But it didn't feel like he was very sympathetic to his staff sometimes. I'm not being too critical of him because clearly he's been thrust into a leadership role that he didn't sign up to as such. I'm not sure that I would do very well in that situation, so I'm definitely not going to criticise him. I did feel a bit sorry for him as members of his team kept leaving. This is typified by us repeatedly seeing him eating cake at people's leaving parties. He never looks like he's enjoying the cake. He always looks so miserable. This was quite a nice touch in the documentary that communicated a lot. Overall, this is definitely worth seeing if you're interested in what's happening with populism, nationalism and the media. It's not as entertaining as Navalny, but it does feel as if it's as important. I do recommend this documentary. Thanks for watching. See you next time.